The prevalence of leptospirosis in Dominica is currently under assessment, and Dominican completes Fisheries course in Iceland. Thank you for joining us on another edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector.
And I'm Shaakira, Pierre. Stay with us for details of the headline stories after this.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. Got it? Taking care of us can be so easy.
Take good care of the children.
Operations at the Douglas Charles Airport were officially restored on Wednesday. The flooding of the facility prompted officials to shut down the island's main airport on Tuesday. On Wednesday morning, GIS News spoke with the chairman of the Dominica Air and Seaports Authority, Phoenix Belfield.
Late Tuesday afternoon, we had an inundation and the airport was affected. As you can appreciate, that some of the works are ongoing. The terminal building was heavily affected. We've had some minor flooding, but thanks to the work and the support of the fire service and even our airport staff and personnel, we have been able to once again overcome this minor setback. Again, today we've been working with a deadline as to restarting the critical operations here at the airport at 11 o'clock. As you can appreciate, that works are still ongoing, but the areas that were heavily affected have been cleaned. The terminal building has been cleaned. In fact, it's dry and fully functional. The customs have had some setback and they are going to be doing some manual operation. Again, we would like to thank the traveling public and all those who have really supported us at this critical point in time for their patience and tolerance. The support staff here at the airport has been working assiduously to ensure that there is full restoration of the services here at the airport, and I can assure you within a few minutes our Seaborne Airlines will be landing and we will have everything up and running. Well, luckily for us, we have been having some trainees from the Dominica Fire Service, and they have been of tremendous support and assistance to us. And we also have the security and the customs official. You have situations whereby the customs official have been able to take off their customs attire and help in terms of the cleaning, the mopping and the fetching of tables and chairs. And so the airport staff here at the Douglas Charles Airport have been of tremendous support. Again, we must commend the fire service and also the customs and the police. So we have everybody here that have been working hand in hand to ensure that the operations here at the Douglas Charles Airport is fully restored.
The Ministry of Health has joined hands with the Ministry of Agriculture and the Pan American Health Organization to launch a study to assess the prevalence of leptospirosis in Dominica. Leptospirosis is an infection caused by corkscrew-shaped bacteria called Leptospira and can be transmitted by rodents, dogs, and farm animals. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Helen Royer, says the initiative will prevent the spread of leptospirosis in Dominica.
In order to adequately prevent and control the spread of leptospirosis, the need to study the factors contributing to its transmission is necessary, and therefore the Ministry of Health and Environment, in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and the Pan American Health Organization, will be conducting that study to assess the prevalence of leptospirosis among rodents, farm and domestic animals, and to identify the risk factors associated with the spread of the disease in Dominica.
Chief Environmental Health Officer Anthony Scotland outlined the objectives of the study.
The objectives basically is to assess the presence of leptospirosis among dogs, rodents, and farm animals at selected sites in Dominica, assess the rodent population at selected urban and rural areas, map environmental risk factors associated with the transmission of leptospirosis within selected occupation, and to improve the knowledge based on the risk factors associated with the transmission of leptospirosis, and 5, build capacity to monitor and prevent the transmission of leptospirosis.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Harold Geist, encourages farmers to play their part to prevent the spread of leptospirosis in Dominica.
So it behooves us in agriculture to be very vigilant and to spread this information to farmers, to farm families, to households, and to let people understand how dangerous this disease is. And then therefore, we are very happy to be able to collaborate with the Ministry of Health in trying to find ways and means to deal with these vectors that spread this disease, and also to be able to educate farmers and let them understand the extent to which that their very occupation attracts these vectors and can cause problems for them and for other persons.
The study is expected to last 6 months, with surveys being conducted in urban areas. In 2011, 29 cases of leptospirosis were reported and 4 related deaths were confirmed.
Chief Education Officer Melina Fontaine says the child-friendly school initiative is putting alternative measures in place that could lead to elimination of corporal punishment as a form of discipline. She was speaking in an interview with GIS News on Monday at the first of a series of child-friendly workshops with education stakeholders.
On the issue of corporal punishment, although it is on the books, so it is legal for us in Dominica, but because of the strategies that we have been using, we have been promoting alternative disciplinary practices. So we are saying that the Education Act says that corporal punishment is a last resort. Make it a last resort, because there are so many strategies that you can use to discipline children that does not have to involve corporal punishment. And so we're actually seeing a decrease in the use of corporal punishment in our schools. Not because we are saying don't use it, but because there is no need to use it because of the alternative measures that are being put in place.
Asked about the total elimination of corporal punishment, the Chief Education Officer responded in this way.
People have to understand that there is a fine line between discipline and child abuse. Okay, and it is because of this fine line, and it's because so many of incidences where people are saying they were using corporal punishment, but really and truly it's physical abuse, that we have to really rethink this thing, look at what the research is saying, look at what is happening internationally, and for us to determine whether we want to keep it on our books. Because really and truly, a spanking can actually become violence against a child.
She notes that the overall goal of the child-friendly program is for students to succeed.
We want our school, we want our education system to be a system where children succeed. That's why our vision is each child succeed. But for them to succeed, the environment must be conducive, it must be safe, it must be healthy, it must be positive, and we want parents and the community and the society to join us with that.
In other news, March 15th was World Consumer Rights Day. This year, the theme was Antibiotics Off the Menu. This is an important issue as antibiotics resistance is escalating around the world. The Ministry of Trade has collaborated with the Ministry of Agriculture to help bring this important message across to consumers in Dominica. Kimani Seja had an in-depth discussion with Chief Vet Dr. Reginald Thomas.
So keeping antibiotics off the menu, I'd say that's a very interesting theme for World Consumer Rights Day. Let's talk about how and why this harmful substance get in our food.
Well, the issue is really the resistance of antimicrobials in food, and this is a global threat and really requires a multi-sectoral approach to trying to address it. So one may ask, why is a vet speaking about antibiotics? And I think it's because of the nature of the threat and the approach in terms of having a kind of multi-sectoral One Health approach is essentially how we could address that issue.
Right, but why does antibiotics get in our food though? And how?
Well, antibiotics has been used in food production, in what is livestock production, meat production, eggs and milk. What we are seeing are accumulations, if you may, or residues in our food. And we are basically consuming these antimicrobials and creating what is resistant. So essentially the bacteria that we treat the animals with are becoming more and more tolerant or resistant to the antibiotics that are used, and we consume that meat or the product of the animals, and we one, get the access or get infected by these resistant bacteria, but we also get some residues of that in our system, which also create in us and can potentially create in us resistant bacteria.
Okay, we like to say in the Caribbean that we really cook our food. We know sometimes in the rest of the world, especially in the US, they have rare and medium rare, but we cook our food. So I think in our minds we think because we cook it so much, we're safe food. What do you say about that?
Well, I wouldn't say we cook, we cremate the food that we eat. However, the residues that remain are not destroyed by heat, and so it continues to pose that threat to us. The issue of managing would really come from what happens at the production level, so the effective and safe use of antibiotics in our food production, so in our chicken, in our other classes of pigs or other classes of livestock. So the situation and its management has to really commence from the production end and in addressing that specific issue.
Yeah, so my last issue now would be how do we prevent that? As you said, it's in production, so I would take it would mean that we would have to take it upon ourselves to start producing more of what we eat.
That is one approach. The other approach is veterinarians and other trained individuals who dispense these drugs need to be vigilant in the approach. Farmers have to understand the threat and participate in the process with the veterinarians. So the veterinarians of the Ministry of Agriculture, for example, would do what are called ante-mortem inspections, and this is one of the things that we look at, the use of chemicals, be it antimicrobials or other chemicals, and what is addressing the withdrawal periods before the animals are slaughtered. And so we depend on the farmer to participate in that process, because if we, for example, do not know if the chemical was used, and farmers can go out and buy some of these drugs and use them, which would really create the problem. The other issue for us, we are a net importer of food, and we have to be careful of the types of food that we import, where we import them from, what are the safety systems in place to ensure that we do not destroy our population. I think this is where the issue lies, and of course public education. We need to educate the public continuously of the threats, addressing it even using proper legislation. So these are some of the approaches that have to be taken in kind of addressing that specific issue.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
I had a bleeding disorder that I did not know about, and they had to be transfusing me continuously. I got 56 units.
Being there at the blood bank, I was like, yo, I'm actually saving someone's life.
You never know when you can go.
Give blood. I have done it, and believe it or not, it don't hurt.
I won't be scared. I'll give. You know you're gonna give blood. I'll make sure she does.
Sit down at the blood bank in a comfortable environment for 45 minutes.
Helping people.
You are stimulating your body to make brand new cells.
You get free cookies, you get juice.
Glad to know your blood group. Feels good.
I felt as a better person.
It's a good thing to be alive, and I can thank God that I'm there and I'm enjoying life.
Welcome back. Acting Fisheries Officer Derek Theophile has successfully completed a 6-month fisheries program at the United Nations University in Iceland. At the training, Theophile focused on the resource assessment module. This module teaches fish handling, data collection and management, and many times suggested changes in the fishing policy. Theophile told GIS News that the training has unveiled several ways to improve the local fisheries industry.
The training was very, very beneficial in the fact that we got exposed to preparing scientific information for fisheries management. A lot of the time in the Caribbean especially, you find fishes being managed in a manner where it is not very scientifically based, grounded. And in fact, we don't collect so much scientific information. So the program was a means to remedy some of that problem, you know. So we have some information here that we do collect, but we want to figure out how best we can use that information to make management advices that can be useful for the fishermen and for the resource as well. Because if you have to manage fisheries, not the fish you're managing, but the fishermen. So we tell the fishermen, for example, you know, the fish resource is going down, you know, so we should not catch so much of it. Or maybe we shouldn't catch so much of the young ones or the big ones or whatever, you know, based on what sort of methods they use for catching the fish. So it helps us to better manage the resources in a scientific manner.
He hopes that the knowledge and skills which he acquired from this program will further enhance the fisheries division.
Data collection systems we have in place already, that's one thing, right? What I plan to do is to enhance that so that we can capture better information, more information, and have information that is more scientifically grounded, right? So when we make a decision, we can say, yes, we have all this evidence behind why this decision was made. So we cannot just say right from the top of our heads, you know, that we want to do X or we want to do Y. We have to say why we want to do X, why we want to do Y, and have some papers behind it, some studies, not just my own, right, or other staff, but studies from people around the world, where we can collate information together and use that for making good decisions.
20 other countries participated in this program. This is the second year that Dominica was represented in the United Nations Fisheries course.
The Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Kalinago Territory, Cassius Daru, is looking forward to the much-anticipated lights to be installed at the Jolly John playing field in the Kalinago Territory. Last week, over $750,000 was signed over to the Solaris Energy Company by the Dominica Lotteries Commission to light 5 playing fields on the island. Out of those funds, $38,500 was allocated to the Jolly John playing field.
We have seen over the years that many development has been taking place, but nothing really substantial in terms of renewable energy. And I must say that in the Kalinago territory, this is going to have a significant impact on the lives of the people who are participating in sports within the community. Of course, the Kalinago territory is one of the communities around the island that is presently leading in terms of solar energy, and we will be forever thankful to the government and the people of Dominica, and of course National Lotteries Commission for having commissioning this project in the Kalinago territory, where we will have solar energy at an area where we call Jolly Johns, which is well known as the mecca of cricket in the Kalinago territory.
The minister believes that the solar-powered lights will further complement the strides being made in his constituency.
It will be an opportunity where we will be able to shine and show the rest of the world that in Dominica we are taking sports to the next level to ensure that we are building a healthy society for ourselves and for our family. Sports also helps in the whole overall development of our communities. It brings community spirit. It improves our human capital. Our energies can be diverted to doing things that are positive instead of getting into antisocial behavior.
Meantime, Chief Innovation Officer for Solaris Energy, Ted Mungle, is commending the government of Dominica for what he describes as efficient preparation for the solar lights which will be installed at the 5 playing fields in Dominica. These lights, says Mungle, will play a large role in improving lives in Dominica, as has been observed in other countries around the world.
I must implore the government for getting this off the ground so quickly, because I did not imagine after 6 months that this initiative will be on its way. We were expecting something like this happening in a year or so. But we have seen the positive effects of solar in many places here in the Caribbean. I myself have worked on a project in the Amazon where just providing a light, a battery, and a solar panel, we were able to help the literacy rate increase by the native Amerindians, so the kids can study at night. So instead of using candles and torch lights and that sort of thing, they now have permanent lighting.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson Saint-Luce. Premièrement, le ministre de a confirmé que Dominique record le premier cas Zika virus. Ministre de la Santé, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow, fait annoncement là, mardi au soir, quand même, il a créé à ce public là, pour pas panique et puis chaîne quoi cool. Ministre Darrow fait parole que ça là panique rien pour faire, comme montrer que moun ça là parti voyager l'autre pays ou là il pays, mais moun la tapé ici. Ministre la dit moun sa la diagnose et puis virus là tapé traitement et puis akay ka récupérer ka fait bien. Ministre Darrow dit yo chen sample 14 cases mais en yon te positive. Content ministre Darrow kwe à ce peuple là pour prendre toute précaution suivre ouais bagay ministre santé ka avisé yo pour empêcher taper maladie là. À la nouvelle, ministre sport honorable Justin Charles qu'a créé à ce public là pour protéger l'occasion sport ou la cléticaille mette à Sion. Honorable Charles fait parole sans la pendant cérémonie ou la agrémentie et puis on compagnie Babad Solaris qui a mette ses clétés à Sion.
Mon canima de moun les yo mette yo pour care ces bagay là nous parler yo ka détruire yo because si yo détruire yo ça means yo même ka rester sain et pour nous ouais c'est bitin ça là ça gouvernement ka mette en disant c'est commune là ces bagay il ka mette ba nous c'est pas ba gouvernement nous ka mette c'est ba c'est moun commune là pour yo ça servir et pour yo ça faire la vie yo timide plus meilleur so mon bien content après 7 mois après tropical storm nous ça ouais nous ka commencer avec qu'on nous savent en 4 mois après nous sign contract là depuis comme yo mené tout matériaux yo en 4 mois nous supposé ni lights en laisser playing field ça là.
À la nouvelle gouvernement Dominica wan autant support pour programme TVET-TVQ. Parole ça là sorti votre coordinateur programme là en Dominique Missing Abraham Durand.
Ministry of Education travaille bien ouais dans ça. Gouvernement met autant l'argent plusieurs millions de dollars nous tenons pour gagner autant d'autres équipements, nous tenons pour développer ces facilités là, nous avons fait traitement, nous tenons pour gagner autant plus matériaux pour ces affaires practice, taper autant practice, faire barrage là, j'étais yo ça taper pour yo faire bien, pour yo venir mettre là. Gouvernement a un programme que Deep Dominica Education Enhancement Project, autant l'argent ça aller pour développer un programme civique ça la Dominique.
Conseil là aussi qu'a collaboré et puis secrétariat CARICOM pour taper support.
Education Act demande que le gouvernement fait une organisation Dominique pour manager pour observer traitement qui a fait à différents métiers. Et ça c'est comme Dominica TVET Council a venu fait. Le gouvernement mettait TVET Council là présent avec nous, c'est nous qui agence là qui a parlé avec CARICOM, nous a parlé avec les autres agences là comme ça en différents pays Caraïbes là. Comme ça c'est nous qui avons représenté Dominique, les CARICOM qui a parlé contre développement skills avec CVQ, certificat CVQ. Comme ça nous avons le gouvernement bien servi avec mouvement ça là. Nous c'est pas longtemps qu'on cela même commencé à masser force mais nous avons catché qui quand nous avons développé nous que taper gamme pour nous ça offre certificat civique ça nous mêmes Dominique nous pas que niveau SPA CXC ou bien n'importe d'autres pays pour venir ba mon certificat ça là.
Et puis finalement ça fait traitement pour habitants à ce cadre pour ministre agriculture. Parole ça là sorti votre permanent secrétaire ministre agriculture Missing Harold Gist fait parole ça là pendant la cérémonie où la police agriculture a formulé.
Pour nous, ça faire toutes ces bagages, nous avons parlé contre là. L'éducation et le traitement pour un habitant, c'est très important. Comme ça, nous avons extension service, nous avons différents qualités de programmes pour faire moun éduquer moun pour montrer moun comment pour dire moun strict comment nous faire bagay ça là pour montrer comment moun l'autre pays a gagné bagay moun l'autre pays a gagné bagay vers yo là yo vinn yo garder bagay si garder belle yo ka point si bagay garder belle yo ka point comme ça nous ni pour faire certain que nous ka présenter bagay là bien c'est moun c'est consumer c'est moun qui a gagné là yo ouais yo que vle parce qu'il fait il a gardé bien propre il a gardé bien présenté une belle couleur tout bagaille avec c'est comme ça nous qu'a fait pour nous aller pour nous avancer en agriculture en Dominique.
Messieurs mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non moi c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
Sodium bicarbonate or baking soda is one of those special kitchen ingredients that can be used in many helpful ways around the home, including as an odor neutralizer.
Add a few drops of fragrant essential oils to baking soda. Place the mixture in decorative containers around the house, mixing it up every now and then to refresh.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and your comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm.
Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Shaakira, Pierre.
And I'm Jarna, Hector. Thank you for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.